Mike Bond of MMA Junkie and USA Today Sports here in Rotterdam, standing next to UFC middleweight contender Gegard Mousasi. And Gegard, we're in your country. The UFC is making its debut in the Netherlands. I guess I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot, but is it disappointing being a bystander to all this week instead of a participant on this card?
Yeah, I would have liked to participate. I asked for to fight here, but the card was full, so they booked me on for UFC 200. Anyway, I'm just happy that I'm fighting.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good alternative. Obviously, UFC 200 probably the biggest card of the year, going to get the most push. Were you happy with the fight they gave you, though? I know you're always looking for the biggest names. You called out the Michael Bispings, Anderson Silvas, and stuff, and you got Derek Brunson, a guy who he is on a nice winning streak. I think 3 first-round knockouts in a row. But was this one of those names that got you excited, or that you're going to have to, motivate yourself for?
Well, I just for me, it doesn't make a lot of difference because I need a couple wins in a row. Obviously, and another win, and then a big fight gonna push me towards the title. So it doesn't matter if I fight bums or big names. Not that he's a bum, but I'm saying I need a couple wins. Then you get a title shot. I'm not gonna get a win if I fight next fight. Let's say Anderson and I beat him. They're not gonna give me a title shot anyway. So I need 3-4 good wins, and then it will get there.
Yeah, and when I spoke to you in Japan before the Uriah Hall fight, you were talking about how you were really excited for it, and you felt just in a different place. And I know you said before your last fight that maybe you were too invested in it. What's the mindset, and what's your emotional investment going into this fight? Have you found the happy medium to make this work, or what do you have to do to find the balance?
Well, for the Japan fight, I was pumped up to have a very good performance. I wanted to go for the finish, and sometimes when you feel you're at your best, you lose. Sometimes you feel at your worst, you win. I don't know. But obviously, I'm gonna fight smarter also for the next fight. And but he's a guy who's he's from Greg Jackson, so they're gonna come up with a game plan, and probably they're gonna come and put the pace and put the pressure. So, but that's good for me. It's gonna open up, and that's good for me to hit him.
Yeah, well, he said, he's got 3 first-round knockouts in a row. He wants to make it 4. So do you feel like him trying to go for that aggression, like you said, is going to play right into what you're trying to do out there?
Good for him. Yeah, let him come.
Awesome.
I'm not worried. Not at all.
Yeah, and to another point, to change topics a little bit, everyone's, I'm sure, has been asking you, you made that now famous comment about Lyoto Machida a few months back. You called him an effing cheater and stuff. What was your reaction when that news came out that he was being pulled from that fight with Dan Henderson because of the situation with USADA?
Well, I think it's good. And, of course, with the USADA testing, people are not going to go for, let's say, the typical stuff that they're going to use. So they're going to look for some other supplements or something. So, yeah, it's good. I like it.
You weren't surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. And like I said, in my fight, he was also greased up. He's cheating anyway, if you're greasing up. So, yeah, it's payback probably, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. And, moving forward, there's a lot of big middleweight fights coming up, most particularly the title fight, though. What do you think of that matchup coming up, the rematch between Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold? Do you think it goes similarly to the first fight, or do you think we see a different result there?
I don't like to do predictions, but yeah, it's probably 50-50 again. Yeah, 50-50.
Okay. And you, of course, feel that if you get this win here over Derek Brunson at UFC 200, you think you're one more win after that, and you're right in title contention, depending on the opponent, or where do you feel you're at in this division right now?
Well, I think Yoel Romero is there, Jacare is there if he wins. So things change a lot. So I need this win, maybe another big win. I'm gonna be there also, but it depends. Then probably a title contendership fight. So I think 2, 3, 4, 2 more fights. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, looking forward to seeing you in there at UFC 200. Thank you so much for the time, Gegard. It's always great catching up with you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.